Hey guys, welcome to day 10 of our Disney nail art challenge. I can't believe we are in double digits already. That is after flying in. I really hope you guys enjoyed Simba yesterday. Today we are moving on to Nala, who I absolutely love and adore. She is so cute and she's going to look adorable on some nails. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so now. There is a button underneath your screen right now, and at the end of the video it will be right on your screen. Alright, let's go. Let's start Nala. So we need to start off by lightening down a little bit of the colour that we made for Simba. Now if you didn't watch our first video on Simba of how to make this colour, I do have a link currently on the screen that you can pop into the video just to check out how we made this actual colour. So we're going to add a little bit of yellow. And we're going to add a little bit of white. And the reason that we're doing this is because Nala is quite a bit blonder than Simba, so we do need to make sure that her fur colour is toned down. I'm going to give that a really good mix, and then I'm going to test it on the back of my hand beside my Simba colours. Now I'm pretty happy with that colour first try, so I'm going to mix in my water. And we're going to start by painting in Nala's head. Now Nala's head shape is fairly similar to Simba's head shape, but she's not kind of got the tilty look that Simba has going on because she's a little bit of a prouder lion. So our curve for Nala is going to be level. So Simba was kind of leaning to the side a bit cheeky, where Nala is more level. And then you want to add in her big ears. And the right hand side of her face is going to disappear off the side of the nail the same way that Simba's did. Now on the left hand side we're going to give her a little curve out for her cheek, and then two little small curves just to show her mouth. And then we're going to bring her little chin around. And then you want to give her her little neck disappearing off the end of the nail. I'm just going to drag her chin down a little bit further there. And then you want to fill her in. Now I'm actually happy with one layer of my base colour for Nala. I don't need to add a second layer. If you do, wait for it to dry, add your second layer. If you don't, then literally just wait for it to dry and move on. Now we're going to do some shading. So we need to take a little bit of brown and add it into Nala's skin colour just to darken it down a little bit. The same like we did for Simba. And we're going to start by giving her nice big round eyes the same way again that we did for Simba. Once you've got the eye drawn in, we're going to add in a little curved line to show off where her nose is, and her second eye is going to be in behind that line then. So we've got a little curve. And then a second line coming out from underneath that curve at a little diagonal down to the left hand side, very slightly. Just towards the top of her lip. And then we want to do a small one on the other side as well. This one isn't going to touch off the first eye, this line's going to be a little bit below it. And this line's going to be more vertical. And then just so we have a little reference point of where we're going to put the second eye, we're going to kind of do like a little shadow line from the top of her forehead down to her cheek, kind of cutting the ear out of the picture a little bit, just so we know where to paint in the second eye. So you're literally just cutting the ear off. And then that way we know where we could pop the second eye, because the second eye is going to be slightly behind her nose, and we also don't want her second eye to overlap her ear. So another nice big round eye. It will be smaller than the first one, and then you can fill it in. Then you're going to take your black and you're going to start your outline. So we're going to start on the very top of her forehead. And we're going to wrap that right around and up over her ear. And then you can come over to the other side. And you're going to go over the kind of medium browny patch that we drew earlier on, just to kind of cut off the ear, and you're going to wrap right down around her cheek. So a nice big curve down, and then you're going to bring it out for her nice poofy cheek. And then you can outline her left ear. Then we're going to take the same colour that we used for shading, and we're going to do a little shaded line inside her ear. On both sides. Then we're going to take the same colour that we used for Simba's mouth, And again, I have it on screen right now for you guys if you need to pop back to our Simba video just to check how to mix up this colour. And we're going to paint around her mouth the same way that we painted around Simba's. So you're going to wrap around underneath her nose, and then you're going to outline around the side of her mouth, up a little bit higher on the right hand side of her nose, and then you're going to curve it out into like a little smile. Curve back down and wrap around her bottom lip. And then you're going to fill that in. Then you're going to take your yellow and we're going to give her 2 big yellow pupils. Again, the exact same that we did for Simba. If you did Simba yesterday, you'll find Nala much easier today because a lot of it is very similar shapes. I don't think her face is quite as complicated as Simba's either. She's calmer, she's not as mischievous. Then we're going to take our pink, and with our pink we're going to do her nose and her little mouth. So you want to give her kind of like a little heart-shaped nose with your pink paint. And then following in from the top kind of curve on her lip, you're going to give her a little open mouth so that she's kind of smiling. Now I'm just going to give her eyes a second coat of yellow, just because the first layer was a little bit see-through. And then using the colour that we used to darken down the initial eye and ear area, I'm going to give her 2 little lines across her nose, just to show a little bit of emotion in her face. Then we're going to go back to our black and we're going to continue our outline. So we're going to give her a little outline inside her ear, just kind of like a little squiggly line, drag down into her ear a little bit and then wrapped around the side. And then we're going to do a very similar shape on the other side. Just a little curved squiggly line. And a little mark in the top corner of it. Then we're going to give her eyebrows. So we want a really nice, pretty curved arch. So up and over both eyes. The eye on the left hand side, it's going to touch off the top of the darker line that we painted in for her nose. So right from the edge of her face, curved right around and touch off the dark line for her nose. And then we can paint in her eyes themselves. So they're egg shapes with like little points on the two ends. And once you're happy with your outline around the eyes, we can give her pupils. Then we're going to take a darker shade of brown and we're going to outline her nose. And then we're going to give her two little round nostrils on either side, the same way that we did for Simba. And then we can go back to our black again and we're going to outline her mouth. So from the left side of her nose, we're going to come out, touch off our black outline that's at the side of the face, and we're going to wrap in and around over the top line of her mouth. And then from the outside of her cheek, you can pull back down towards her mouth and give her a nice big smiley face. we need to outline the bottom of her mouth as well. So you're going to wrap around and you're going to follow the line of the pink of her mouth and you're going to come up to meet that top line. Then you're going to wrap around the bottom of her chin, following the line that you've already painted. And you're going to wrap all the way around and meet the very corner of her little smiley lips. The edge of her, the kind of white part of her face. Then we're going to take our dark brown again and we're just going to kind of show off the difference between where her face meets her neck. So a little diagonal line from the bottom of her mouth where it meets her neck, just up off the edge of the nail. And then I'm just also going to outline the edge of the white part of the top of her mouth with the dark brown. And I'm also going to define her nose a little bit with it as well. So we did do a line in both of these areas earlier on in kind of a slightly darker shade of brown, but I want to go over them again with this dark shade of brown just to make them a little bit more clear. A little bit of black to outline her neck, so just dragging a very slight curve off the bottom of her neck. And then using her fur colour, we're going to do the same thing again that we did with Simba. We're going to give her a few little flicks over the black lines just to show off that she's fluffy. Don't forget you can do any little touch-ups that you feel you need to. And using black, we're going to add a little line between her nose and her mouth, just to show off her little tigerness. And then we're going to take a very slightly darker shade of pink and just do a little curve inside her mouth, just to show off that her mouth does get darker as it goes further back. And then taking a little bit of white, we're going to do two slightly curved triangles just over the pink area to show off her teeth. Then we're going to take red and we're going to give her the same red rings in her eyes that we gave to Simba for the colour of her eyes. On both sides. And a little white dot inside each one just to show off a little bit of a highlight. And once you've got both of your highlights in, that's it, Nala is done. So you want to wait for her to dry, and then you're going to top coat her, seal her in and cure her. There she is beside Simba. She's so cute! Your clients will absolutely love her. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on day 10. Tomorrow we will either do Scar or Mufasa. I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing so far, and if you are, please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!